everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to my film and TV channel. And today we're going to have a look at a new Netflix series, a fantasy action adventure drama. I like a bit of fantasy action, don't you? So we're going to have a look at 8 episodic thing. That's series 1 has just finished now, and sort of binge watched that. It was available from June the 4th 2021. So we're going to have a look at something called Sweet Tooth today. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe on, push the bell notifications. Please, there'll be links on screen for Facebook and Twitter, my other vlogs as well for Manchester City, my football team. Please check that out, and a little website I've got as well, so if you can check all those links on screen. And follow back and friend back and subscribe, etc, etc, and tell your friends. That'd be fantastic. And of course, any comments you want to make on this Sweet Tooth or anything to do with film and TV, doesn't matter, just let us know. Just leave it in the comment section below, and I will get back to you on my thoughts as well. And of course, if you don't have time for a comment today, just give us a thumbs up. It's nice to get views, but it's lovely to get thumbs up as well, so you can do that. Right, yeah, Sweet Tooth, 12 certificate, it's classed as. Yeah, there's nothing too untoward in it, to be honest with you. It's based on the comic book, of course, of the same name by Jeff Lemire. Some good images from flying around the internet of the comic and the film side by side, etc. Series was developed by Jim Mickle for Netflix, and it was initially a Hulu project, back in the day, but obviously Netflix have picked it up. 8 episodes by approximately 40 to 50 minute episodes. They do vary slightly. And all scores and comments I'm going to give you today are as at the 8th of June 2021, 9 AM UK time. And what's it about? Well, 10 years ago, we had the Great Crumble. Nothing to do with apple pies, this one. The Great Crumble, there we go. So that sort of gives us a feeling for the sort of market this is aimed at, isn't it? More a younger element, family element, I think, this fantasy adventure. The Great Crumble wreaked havoc on the world and led to the mysterious emergence of hybrid babies born part human, part animal. Unsure if hybrids are the cause of the result or of the virus, many humans fear and hunt them. Typical, isn't it? Bit X-Men-y, obviously, with that sort of style. After a decade of living safely in his secluded forest home, a sheltered hybrid deer boy named Gus Christian Convery plays him. Unexpectedly befriends a wandering loner named Jeopard, Nonzo Anozi. Together they set out on an extraordinary adventure across what is left of America in search of answers about Gus's origins, Jeopard's past, and the true meaning of home. Oh, bless. They've got some ruby slippers, would be alright, wouldn't they? But their story is full of unexpected allies and enemies, as it would be, and Gus quickly learns the lush, dangerous world outside the forest is more complex than he could ever have imagined. As it stated, it stars Nonzo Anozi as Tommy Jeopard. It stars the young Christian Convery as Gus. Adil Akhtar stars as a Dr. Ajita Singh, a doctor who's desperate to find the cure for the virus. Stephanie Levy Owen is Bear, the leader of the Animal Army, who saves hybrids. She does a good job as well. Dania Ramirez as Amy Eden. Lisa Vellani as Rani Singh, Dr. Ajita Singh's wife, who has the sick. That's what they call it when he got the virus. Will Forte as Pubba, Gus's father, who raised him in a cabin in the forest. How's it doing? So how are people thinking this now? Well, we always have a look at good old Rotten Tomatoes, don't we? See if it's fresh or rotten, this thing. Approval rating, positive, which is basically a positivity rating, meaning it's they liked it and more than they disliked it, is 98%, so that's not too shabby. 41 critics reviews have added up to that, with an average rating of 7.99 out of 10, so that's very, very good. The website's consensus reads, emotionally engaging, superbly acted, incredibly entertaining. Sweet Tooth will satisfy fantasy fans of all ages. This is one of the things, if you're not into fantasy, I do get a lot of comments from people who say, oh, I've never watched this, and I've never watched Star Wars. Oh, am I the only one who's never watched Star Wars or Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? I mean, well, if it's not your genre, you're not going to watch it here, so I don't know what's big or clever about it. But Sweet Tooth will satisfy fantasy fans of all ages. So there, based on those scores, it seems to be doing that sort of thing, doesn't it? And the Rotten Tomatoes audience agree. They gave it a 92% positivity, so still very, very high. Metacritic, yeah, I've given it a weighted average, again similar to Rotten Tomatoes, of 78 out of 100 based on 18 critics. And some comments from the critics I've got here now. I've got Alan Seppinwell from the Rolling Stone. He left this comment on June the 2nd. Whether Gus and friends are having scary adventures or fun ones, those parts of Sweet Tooth are full of life, and it's exciting or tense as needed. The show can be a hit or miss, though, when it moves away from Gus. Yeah, well, perhaps it didn't sort of develop the other characters very much in this first series, which is one little criticism I do have of it, to be honest with you. I think I would have liked to see some of the other characters given a little bit more development. It all seemed to concentrate mainly on Gus. Nothing wrong with that. He does a great job, but yeah, that's just one small criticism. The Guardian's Lucy Mangan on the June the 5th, 2021 wrote, "It is either warmly eccentric or hysterically crazy, perfect entertainment or a horrifying attempt to parlay the pandemic into a commercially palatable mashup." Yeah, fair enough. Ian Freer, Empire Magazine, May the 26th, 2021, he said, "Fittingly switching between sweetness and bite, Sweet Tooth is a children's fable fit for grown-ups." There you go. As I said, a family fantasy adventure. Internet Movie Database, Joe Public, you, me, everybody. Yeah, 8.3 out of 10, so that's not very shabby, is it? That's a great score. That's based on 5,845 scores and reviews, and it averages anywhere per episode between 8.3 and 9.1. Very high, a little bit too high for me, to be honest with you. I think just a little bit over the top. With that 5,845, 5,495 scored it 6 or more, which obviously is my basic watchable rating for any TV, film or drama. And that's a 94% positivity. So we're getting all the positivities from Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic and IMDb, all in the 90%. So I think the general feeling is very good with this one. So my little thoughts, just to sum up before I go. Yeah, as fantasy adventures go, it doesn't try to overcomplicate things, this, which is good in a way. Although, as I said, one little criticism, I would have liked a little bit more background information on certain characters. It's a sort of classic back in the day, if you think back to the old days in the 80s, 70s, 80s, the heyday of watching television where you didn't get much option. You had to all sit by that telly waiting for a certain programme to come on. It had a sort of Saturday, Sunday night adventure feel to it that all the family could watch, and like the Incredible Hulk and things like that, if you're as old as me, or so it was nice to have that sort of classic feel where all the family could watch it together. There is a bit of criticism over the length, but I watched it as a binge watch. I watched it over the space of one evening and one morning, and it was fine. It was always interesting, and I think even as an episode at a time, it was fine as well. You don't, as I say, if you were sat waiting for it to come on a Saturday night back in the day, I think you would have been quite happy with it. The acting is excellent. Nothing wrong with the acting. Christian Convery is superb. Does a great job in the lead. A lot of pressure on him, a lot of time on him, as I said, but he does a fantastic job with it. And of course, we do get the flashback, so we do get to learn a little bit more, certainly more about Gus than anybody else, and that's where it does need fleshing out just a little bit more. But obviously we've got future, fingers crossed, or hopefully, if you do like it, most people seem to do, future episodes and future seasons to look forward to for other characters to be fleshed out as well and become as sort of key to us as Gus did in this. So there you go. Going forward, I think it needs a little bit more depth there, but I think as a standalone one-off series, it was fine. If it obviously, I want a little bit more expansion, perhaps going forward with season 2, season 3, however many seasons we're going to get of this. But a very, very worthy effort. I'm not going to go mad over it. I'm not going to say all these. Say there's a lot of high scores there, but I'm not always the most generous with my scores, but I'm going to give it a very watchable rating. I did enjoy it. As I said, just some very minor criticism, but I said a good old-fashioned thing you can watch with your family. If you're into fantasy adventure, if you're not into fantasy adventure, go and read a book or something, do something else. But as a family, it's just something that can be weird and entertaining. So I'm going to give it a rating of 6.5 out of 10, which is a little bit down on everybody else, but that is my very watchable rating, and say that's That's pretty good for me. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments of what you score. This probably a bit more generous than me, or some people. There are people who don't like it. That's just how it is. But anyway, let me know in your comments. Anyway, thanks for watching. What we're going to do this day. Have a great one. Look after yourselves. Look after your friends. Look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the Film and TV channel, or perhaps have a flit across. Have a look at my Citizen channel, my football channel. Wherever it is, or whoever it is, or whenever it is, well, all I ever ask of you, I only ask one thing of you. Please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.